And it's kind of like the path for me for wellness. It's like, yeah, you can do these physical things. And that's how it started for me. It was like, I want to get into shape. I started eating a little bit better. So like my body was getting a little bit cleaner, and now my mind was starting to change, and I was starting to be more aware. And then that led me to this next thing. It was like, maybe it was breath work. Maybe it was going to do a plant medicine journey. It was kind of like a progression.
Yeah.
And I tell people, like, whatever you're curious about, start there.
Yeah.
But you got to try things that are outside of your comfort zone a little bit, because that's where the growth happens. You know, if you're staying in your box, you're going to live in your box. Some people, they don't want to get out of their box, and that's okay too. Like, you don't want to force anyone to get out of their box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to talk a little bit about all of this, like I actually went to Mobility House recently, so we can check it out a little bit on my experience there and everything that I got to try, the different modalities there. So let's check that out.
So today I'm at Mobility House and I'm going to get a chiro session, which I've never done before. This is Justine. She's one of the founders of Mobility House, and she's going to be walking us through the chiro session.
We started Mobility House 2 years ago, and we wanted to create a space where we could get every alternative medicine, so not just your family doctor. So here we have chiro, osteo, physio, massage, and naturopath. So chiro is really good for restoring motion. This is going to help optimize your workouts and also your posture, and then being able to sit at your desk properly. So we started with your history, and that's just what brings you in. And then we do the physical assessment. So that's going to be testing all these body parts, seeing where the pain is and trying to figure out where it's coming from. We go over consent, making sure everyone's on the same page for their treatment planning, and then we get into the actual treatment. Typically for my treatments, I start with all soft tissue first, and then I do any modality you need. So whether it's acupuncture, TENS, any sort of scraping, tool work, and then we do all the adjustments at the end.
I just finished my chiro session. I feel very relaxed and so much less tension in my back. Now, Mobility House has a lot of different modalities. The next one we're going to see is needling. I'm a little scared of needles, but I'm going to be walked through exactly what needling is, facial acupuncture, and learn a little bit about it. So come with me.
My name is Dr. Quinn Curran. I am a naturopathic doctor here at Mobility House. So today I'm going to show you what our facial acupuncture session looks like. So I'm going to start with your ears, and then I'm going to quickly move down to the rest of your body for kind of a constitutional boost from a Chinese medicine perspective. Any type of cosmetics, you know, it works from within as well as external. So we're kind of targeting both at the same time.
Do you feel it?
No.
No?
No, at most you feel it too, but then like after that, like you don't feel anything.
It's very common to have kind of TMJ masseter issues. So I'm getting him to clench his jaw for me as I go down the masseter muscle, which is the issue. See like a brightness in your face, and you also be very calm, very relaxed.
Having seen and heard more about needling, I think it's taken the fear factor away a little bit, and it doesn't seem so painful. In fact, it seems to release a lot of pain, which was a really cool learning.
Welcome back to the table. We are going to continue our conversation on maximizing breath work. So Gio, maybe you can tell us and give us some tips on how is the best way that I can maximize breath work to increase my wellness plan and to increase my own physical health.
Yeah, that's a good question. The first thing is just being aware of how you breathe. Like that was the simplest when we talked about it earlier. It starts with awareness. How am I breathing throughout the day? Like that wellness, that breath alarm you can put on, that starts there. Then just like breathing through your nose, breathing into your diaphragm, just practicing like the basics is for most people is like where I would start. Another really cool, I guess, thing that some people do is they tape their mouth shut at night. So if you're a mouth breather and you mouth breathe at night, you're all night long, you're mouth breathing. And a lot of people don't know if they mouth breathe or not, but they sell these online too, like mouth tape that are meant for this, but you can just get like a little strip of tape at like Shoppers Drug Mart or Walgreens and
Duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape. And you tape it together, and then it forces you to breathe through your nose for 8 hours. And so many people that just do that like feel like all these amazing physical benefits and health benefits that change. So those are two like simple things that I tell people to start. Just try that, and you'll see a shift. And then it's just like setting aside 5 or 10 minutes a day. If you can do 1 minute a day of conscious breathing, whatever practice you like, pick one that you resonate with. There's a million of them on YouTube. You know, like we have an app too. Like it's so easy to find now. Spend 5-10 minutes a day and just commit to it for like 30 days. If you can just start doing that, you're gonna feel a lot better. From there, there's like so many different practices, like building up your CO2 tolerance for like sports, but to just keep it simple, like have awareness of how you breathe, start to breathe functionally a little bit better, nose, diaphragm, like we talked about. And and maybe mouth tape at night. Like those are the three really simple things. If people did that and they're mouth breather and they're not breathing correctly, they're going to feel a huge shift. Clarity, depth of sleep, do a little breath work before you go to bed too. Like for me, on the wellness side, like before people start taking like injections and peptides and supplements and all this stuff, like how are you breathing? And how are you sleeping? Then how are you eating is also important. Like, but there's so many debates on what's the right way to eat. So I kind of stay out of it. Just like cleaner the better, less junk and processed stuff. But sleeping, like a lot of people don't realize, like you're scrolling on your phone, bright lights, loud, you're thinking about work right before you go to bed, and you're eating late and probably maybe having a few drinks. Like that's going to kill your sleep.
No, that's so true. Every single time I've like had alcohol or just like been on my phone longer before I've slept, I've always slept really bad. My brain is like so active.
And so red light glasses are good, dim the lights, like blackout blinds in my bedroom, like, make it dark and do some breath work, regularly bring your nervous system down. Once you start catching up on your sleep, your whole life changes. When you're lacking sleep, your nervous system is automatically in fight or flight. It's like, okay, we're low on sleep, everything's a threat. And so you're just looking for danger, thinking about the worst scenarios. Like your nervous system is like survival mode.
You're angry at everyone too.
But it's because you're lacking sleep. And if you read like Matthew Walker's a great book, Why We Sleep, like you read about sleep and lack of sleep, it'll scare you. Like what happens when you're not getting full sleep and how like one night of like lost sleep, how detrimental that is. And I'm like, man, for my 20s, didn't sleep at all. So now it's like, okay, like if you're not sleeping and you're not breathing well, like those are the first two things. It's like, hey, and your breath work can help the way you sleep. So do some breath work before bed, down regulate, have all the other things that are going to support your nervous system, and you're going to see huge impact. Those two things.
That's great, because it sounds like there's a number of things that we should be applying here. And we just saw with Mobility House, all the different services there, and looking at these different modalities, stacking modalities. So looking at breath work, physio, getting cardio in, and all the other offerings. Like, what is the benefit and why does it make sense to stack it as opposed to, I choose, this versus that?
Like you said, like things like Mobility House, like sometimes there's actually things that we can help, like with our alignment, with doing like chiro or osteopath, where like you actually need an alignment because your nervous system is off, because maybe you're saying like I'm sitting too much in a chair. And get up and walk. Like at my house, I have like a seating desk, I got a walking desk, and I got a kneeling desk with like a thing. So like I can change it up here and there. And I'd say if you are like sitting is gonna be the new smoking. Like a lot of people are talking about that. Like just sitting and being at a desk all day is gonna have a lot of chronic health issues. So like go to the gym first thing in the morning, go for a walk. Just even if you go outside for a 5-minute walk, first thing in the morning, after every meal, you should go for a little bit of walk to get your breathing going. Like it'll make such a huge impact. Like I was starting to have hip issues. Then going down to my ankle issue. And what I figured out was, because I was sitting too much during the day, my psoas was getting tight. It was throwing off my whole alignment. So I had to go to my osteopath to kind of check it out. He was like, like this hip is coming from here. And then like, I don't know if you've ever had someone like push into your psoas muscles, but it's the most weird feeling. And I felt it going through my whole body. So it brought that awareness. And now I'm like, okay, like I'm not going to sit for a long amount of time. I'm going to do my stretches properly. I go get kind of tuned up every once in a while. So things like Mobility House, like, like it's important to go and make sure like you're in alignment, and like using things like that are like really important as well to add in.